I still remember the exact moment my world shifted. The kind of moment that doesn't announce itself with a bang, but slides in quietly, like ice under skin. It was New Year's Eve, the living room flickering with the soft glow of our fairy lights, champagne untouched on the table, and the countdown from the TV murmuring in the background. She turned to me, her face impossibly calm, and said, "My New Year's gift is a separation." I froze. The words hit me slower than I expected, but no less violently. My throat tightened, chest constricting, as if my body refused to believe what my mind had just registered. "Wait, what?" I asked, my voice brittle. The room felt absurdly small, the laughter from the TV irrelevant, a distant echo. She didn't answer immediately. She just looked down, tracing the rim of her glass. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I tried to piece together how we got here. We'd been fine. I thought, content. Sure, maybe a few arguments about bills or schedules, but nothing like this. Nothing that screamed separation. The truth, I realized later, had been creeping in long before that night. It started with missed calls she dismissed casually. "Oh, my phone died." Or messages she'd clear just before I could see them. I blamed myself at first. Was I too busy? Too inattentive? But then, little things piled up. The faint scent of a perfume I didn't recognize on her scarf. Late nights at work that felt off. Her laughter a little too bright at times I was around. I questioned myself endlessly, the uncertainty gnawing at my confidence, my sanity even. I wanted to ask her then and there, how long, with whom, why? But something in her eyes, that strange mixture of sorrow and resolve, made my words stick. Instead, I just stood there, paralyzed. My mind swirled with memories I'd once cherished. Quiet breakfast in the sunlit kitchen, her hand brushing mine while we walked in the park, laughter spilling over our inside jokes. And now they felt like illusions, staged moments in someone else's story. Later, when the party thinned and she finally left the room, my suspicion drove me to my phone. One accidental notification, one unlocked app, and the truth I had feared became undeniable. Messages, hundreds of them, between her and someone else. Flirtations had turned into plans. Laughter shared at my expense. Secrets whispered behind my back. Each line burned hotter than the last. I sat on the couch, staring at the screen, numb. I wanted to scream, throw the phone, call her out, demand an explanation. But the silence felt heavier than any confrontation. I remembered all the nights I waited for her, wondering why she was late. All the smiles I thought were for me, all the tender moments that were now shaded with betrayal. The next day, I confronted her. She didn't deny it. She admitted everything. The friendship that became something more, the guilt that grew, the lie we're fine that kept her sane while tearing me apart. Her voice trembled, not with fear, but with fragile, apologetic honesty. "I didn't plan for it to happen like this," she said. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I never wanted to hurt you." And that was the hardest part. I didn't hate her. Not entirely. I couldn't, because amidst the anger, the heartbreak, there lingered love that refused to vanish instantly. But love alone wasn't enough anymore. The trust we'd built, carefully, painstakingly, was fractured, irreparable. I made a decision then, quietly, without yelling or theatrics. I couldn't stay in a marriage built on deceit. I told her calmly that I needed space, that we needed separate paths. She nodded, tears in her eyes, and for a moment, it felt like the old U.S., tender and human. Then she left. The days after were hollow but clarifying. I replayed our moments together, not to relive them, but to understand what I had learned. That love can coexist with betrayal. That heartbreak can teach patience, resilience, and self-respect. I walked through the apartment, touching things she had once touched, and didn't feel anger, only a quiet sorrow mixed with resolve. Months later, I found strength I didn't know I had. The world outside our broken marriage seemed sharper, more vibrant. I rebuilt routines, reconnected with friends I neglected, started small projects that filled the silence. I realized I wasn't defined by her choices or my heartbreak. I was defined by how I rose from it. Sometimes I remember that New Year's Eve, the words, the frozen room, the betrayal. but not as a wound, at least not entirely. I remember it as a turning point, a moment of brutal clarity. I remember it as a night I learned that even when love shatters, dignity and self-respect can endure. And slowly, quietly, I started living again, unafraid of cracks that had once seemed too wide to cross.